Individuality is fleeting and everyone is copying you. And it's no secret whether you believe you had little impact or have fully transformed someone's life. The words you say, the actions you exemplify, and the way you carry yourself has an impact on others around you. To some, this may sound wonderful, empowering even, that you influence people in ways you don't even realise. But in the industry of creative arts, from fashion to intellectual property, there is a sweet spot of how we regard people taking inspiration from our art. While at first being a stroke of the ego, feelings of pride can turn sour when an inspired individual outdoes the original creator. To create and build an entity is quite maternal. You have the inception or birth of the idea first, then the incubation period where you build and support the idea, and lastly the maturity phase where you have your fully formed idea in completion. This is a concept that you've not only created but cared for to make it what it is. And when someone is heavily inspired or flat out steals it, you can understand the frustration. When your labour goes unnoticed and your work remains uncredited, the confidence begins to dwindle. Today we will be discussing why everybody is copying you and the 7 deadly sins demise on our success. But at the end of the day, art was made to be imitated. Back to Keep It Simple Sid, where I create video essays about human behaviour to create a community full of inquisitive people, sharing ideas and promoting discussions on how we can better understand ourselves and relate to one another. If you got it like that, you need to understand that you constantly inspire others, and in this imperfect world, there is no way to stop people from trying to do things like you. But have you considered this gift was given to you for the purpose of moving others in some way? For this video, I was inspired by a Nowhere Lad's SpongeBob style drawings with my own spin. And because I was a SpongeBob viewer with unrestricted internet access as a child, I recalled a popular theory I had seen when I was younger with the comparison of SpongeBob and the 7 deadly sins. And boom came this video. And it's that simple to give credit and gratitude to those who played a vital role in your execution. I've always had such an active imagination, and to be inspired and connect things when they're completely unrelated is like breathing to me. But everyone's creative process looks different and is unique to that individual. Sadly, manufactured fame is on the rise. We are seeing less individuality due to a multitude of reasons. Whether you like to admit it or not, social media rewards conformity. Anything online is computational data that allows us to model, predict, and shape reality through algorithms. Algorithmically, we constantly see people following trends, moving to the same places, saying the same think pieces, and even looking the same way. When we do the same things we see others doing, it not only garners views, but it adds to the pool of data on whether others should follow suit or not. Social media, by design, has influenced what we think and do before we even do it, and I don't think as many people realise how much we're rewarded when we conform to the boxes people put us in. Take travelling to a different country, for example, and close your eyes. When you're staying in a hostel, people always ask the same question, "Where are you from?" And in response is, "I'm American, I'm German, I'm Japanese, and I'm British, etc." From our implicit biases, cultures, experiences, what we consume online, and many other factors, we've already put these people into boxes. From our experiences, we draw conclusions that sounds like, "I don't like you because I had a bad experience with a German man. I already like you because of what I've seen about Americans on TV." Or, "I don't like you because I've heard British people act this way." On the road to stardom, there are many reasons why people want to skip the line. And that reason is laziness, especially within the realm of social media. Elements like AI, mass daily posting to get as much visibility as possible, and regurgitation of the same things that has worked for others. There's an abundance of noise. When we see something that is working for a lot of creators, whether it's trending songs, signature dances, or the content styles that receive a lot of popularity, you often see creators with the same TikTok vernacular having the same cadence in their speech and same style of jump cuts because it performs well. More and more, we see success stories on how people live these lavish lives in such a short period of time. And many people try to create a play-by-play on how to replicate this ticket to fame. And the underlying issue is people believe everything they see. While information is becoming more available, the desire to fact check and research is being negatively affected. If I told you right now how I made $1 million as a 20-year-old, I can alter some photos and videos, sneak my way into clubs, take pictures in front of people's cars, and push this narrative until people believe what they see. Soon enough, I'll get paid from a lie. I can then sell some courses based on fabrications you're blindly following because I'm selling you a narrative, the life you want. With the combination of the short attention spans and addiction to dopamine, for a lot of people, instant virality, instant fame, and instant validation is more appealing than the effort of building a more profitable business long term. There is a facade prevalent among this generation due to social media. We see people in their early 20s on yachts, owning houses, travelling the world and living a lavish life. Not all, but a lot of people are not financially literate. They're house poor and are acquiring massive amounts of credit card debt from trying to maintain the status they created on social media. Now, more than ever, everyday people are able to become millionaires due to the access of mass audiences at our fingertips. It's very easy to pretend with social media. As a viewer, stop idolising and blindly following people. Your power as an individual lies in your ability to make decisions and draw conclusions. As a creative, have the intention of building a community rather than having the numbers. As quick as you rise, the quicker you'll fall if you're not careful. Fear of judgment has been and will always be a huge deterrent in doing original things. From having fun dancing in the club to doing a good deed, we live in a society where if we do things slightly out the ordinary, we may fear we could see ourselves being used or someone else's content. The reality is we live in a voluntary surveillance state. We see content from meta classes and general filming of the public without their consent daily. These videos get so much attention, which makes it harder and harder for people that want to explore a new hobby or style from the fear of scrutiny. Sure, if you see me aggressively singing in my car, that's one thing, and I honestly don't care. I know we're in bumper-to-bumper traffic and I drive a fishbowl, but God forbid I'm living in the moment as life was intended. When unsuspecting bystanders see, within this exchange I expect admiration, laughter, or annoyance of my joy. But if I see you pull out that iPhone 16 Pro Max, we're going to have some issues, because why can we not just let things be? Not everything is intended to be recorded and potentially monetized off of. Maybe that is the reason we cannot replicate any beauty of the world on our camera. But regardless of others, it actually takes courage. And it doesn't have to be just dancing in the car, whether it's posting vlogs, pursing music, or doing something that makes you feel uncomfortable. Courage takes vulnerability. What a blessing it is to have the access of millions of people to view our passions. But with the good comes the keyboard warriors. Anonymity gives people this degree of power. For some, a loud minority, keyboard warriors enjoy spreading bigotry because of their own miserable lives. I can say with a lot of confidence, people that are secure within themselves don't project their shortcomings onto others, and certainly don't cyberbully random people. People that do that are acting like losers. And I say acting like losers rather than are losers, because this one thing, we are all here in this moment, currently watching this video, but the journeys we took to get to this point looks different for all of us. Some people experience abuse during childhood, loss, bullying, and many other negative, life-altering events, resulting in them looking for validation, wanting to project their insecurities, or simply not wanting to be a target and thus becoming the bully. I've known people that have done bad things and have later recognised their errors of their ways. I myself would be lying to say I have not done something I've regretted. My personal viewpoint on keyboard warriors, or anyone that routinely hates on others or constantly have something negative to say, is I honestly feel nothing. At most, I feel pity, because their punishment is having to live in their own head for the rest of their lives. When people don't know who they are or the things they want, it opens the door for outside influences to make decisions for them. You then can easily become captured by trends just because other people have it. Sure, this seems harmless, but when you desire something and there's no real reason or thought behind why you want it, you can easily become fixated on the idea, that thing, rather than what it truly means to you. I believe that one of the biggest ways to becoming our highest self is through controlling the ego. And so many people in this world go unrecognized from their talent because they were afraid to try and fail. But the beautiful thing about failure and successes is that it's cyclical. What goes up must come down, and that is the main part that we tend to fixate on, is the drop. But we forget what is down must come up. It's a cycle. And the beautiful thing about this system is that there is no end when you are consistently putting energy into showing up as your best each time. And objectively, this sounds quite promising. The fact that if I'm down, I just need to keep being consistent and I will soon be up. But the ego gets in the way and causes us to be prideful. If there's a dip in views, sales, or hype, we immediately assume everybody is watching us. And don't get me wrong, people are. I believe the death of creativity is at the beginning of rumination and hyper-awareness. Our mere significance, no matter how long we've known a person or the relationship you've built, guarantees you airtime in someone else's brain. As we know, everyone's perceptions are different, and unfortunately, just because something was impactful for you doesn't mean the same for others. So when you create as if no one is watching and reach that childlike wonder and optimism within you, then you can truly experience groundbreaking epiphanies. Pharrell had said in an interview, "Nothing is new under the sun." It's so crazy for us to think like as individuals, everything comes from us, your ideas, everything that you get is coming from a library of existence. Nothing is new under the sun. In fact, the sun that you look up at every day is one of trillions upon trillions upon trillions of other stars. Nothing is new. Once you realise the insignificance of yourself, then you understand what your actual significance is. The more you analyse human behaviour, you realise that people are quite similar and predictable. We often all have the same problems wrapped up in a different bow. Even the most unique or terrible things that you believe have only happened to you has already happened to someone on this earth, or at least on Reddit. The thing is, in a way, we're not that special. The paths that you take, even when you think you are diverting from the societal norm, 9 times out of 10, it's already been done. But there will never be another you. Stop catastrophizing everything and find out what makes you, you. It is vain to think no one in the entire human history has not experienced the hardship or feelings you're suffering from right now. So be kind to yourself because, like many others, they prevailed. Create like no one is watching, and create with the hopes of inspiring others and not the fear of your stolen art. Keep it here and keep it simple, Sid.